Hello and welcome to our podcast, Cozy Conversations with the Sister Project. I'm Lauren. And I'm Michelle. And we're so excited you stopped by for a visit. Come on in. Yeah, make yourself at home. We're two Midwestern sisters who love a good old-fashioned conversation and enjoy sharing our life experiences with one another and you. Consider this your one-stop shop for cozy, mindful well-being, along with some entertainment and lots of wheezy laughing. Oh, you bet there'll be a lot of that going around. Our goal is to live our coziest life and inspire you to do the same because the truth is, we think it's good for your mind and your body. Thank you so much for tuning in. Now, let's get cozy. Well, hey there, ho there. Welcome to Cozy Conversations with the Sister Project. I'm one sister, Lauren, joined by the other sister, Michelle.
Yeah, and together we make one whole.
The Sister Project. Yeah, that's us, babes. That's us.
Two, meld together, the Sister Project. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm better now.
You better now?
Real banger of a mood earlier.
Oh, I could feel it. And
everything was going wrong.
I hate those days.
Like every morning, like everything this morning was going wrong. Everything.
And then you have to try hard on top of already trying hard to do mix, manage, and control everything else, not losing your shit. So then you don't feel like a big douche later when everything's falling apart and you turn into an angry person, which we've all been there because we have a threshold. And when you completely get banged on by things that aren't going right, your business partner screws something up or the kid's crying or the printer doesn't work.
Oh, it's so much.
Anthony's fault. It bubbles up.
It bubbles up. But you know what? I shook it off. I took a deep breath in.
You did, because you want to know why? We're in showbiz, and you know how the show must go on.
The show must go on, and
even
indeed the show is on. And yes, this is the second recording of this episode. Nothing technically went wrong with the other episode. We just didn't like it, and we were not vibing, and it sucked. And we will not put shit out for you to listen to. So welcome to the second recording of this episode. So happy to be here. And I want you to know that Michelle is chowing down on my recipe, the pumpkin chocolate chip cookies. Listen, I'm going to put those in the show notes. These are some of the best fall cookies, easy as fuck to make. They make a billion.
They yield a ton.
Yeah. So where it says yield a ton, because you can make them smaller, bigger. They're so good. They're just pumpkin chocolate chip cookies. And it's that pumpkin puree that adds like the moistness.
The sponginess. It's like a good spongy cookie.
It's so good.
We've made them twice, Lauren, in the last 2 weeks.
Because you make them, you eat them, and you want them again.
Yeah.
I made this recipe up. I combined two recipes years ago. And ever since then, I kind of created my own. So it's on our blog. I'll link it. But other than that, we've got a great cozy show for you guys today. 'Tis the season. Tis the season. The holidays are here. And we're so happy to have you here, home for the holidays, here at Cozy Conversations with the Sister Project. Listen, Thanksgiving is merely an intermission to me. It's Christmas time already. So,
well, it's Christmas time to you and every retailer on planet Earth. So
well,
you're
that's
not
annoying
alone.
Because they were doing that before Halloween. That pisses me off.
Well, they do. Yep, they do it all. It's just getting moved more further and further away from the actual date of the holiday.
It's actually kind of annoying. That's annoying. But anyways, so let's read something that's not annoying. We have a wonderful review. And I do apologize if we ever double read a review. I did a shitty job of keeping track of reviews.
Are you doing a better job now? Or are you just winging it?
No, I'm trying to do a better job. Okay. So everyone just leave me alone. Okay. And Michelle,
take it away.
Take it away.
I will. This review is written by Traveler26 and it's titled Midwest is Best. And to that, I say, damn straight it is. Listening to Michelle and Lauren is like eavesdropping on a conversation with my besties. I was born and raised in Chicago, but moved out of state years ago. This show gives me a weekly connection to home with current topics. Give them a listen and you will not be disappointed.
You would have been disappointed if you heard our other podcast episode. That was complete garbage.
But not this one.
Traveler26. Dying to hear from you. Where did you move to? Do you like it? What do you
have
miss
the four
most?
seasons?
Do you have the four seasons? And what do you miss most about Chicago? Michelle, I know you don't like when I do this. What is your favorite thing about the city of Chicago?
The city of Chicago.
Chicago.
I'll tell you what. I will tell you what.
Oh,
First of all, I know I'm going to go off a little bit here. First of all, I love the dining restaurant options in the city. There's nothing like it. You can literally go and eat around the world in one of the greatest cities in the world. So there's that. But I will tell you this, my favorite part of the city is being in the city during, are you ready? The holidays. There's just there's something so nostalgic, even though we're in 2023, when I'm set there on the streets with the decorations, it takes me back to like Christmas Vacation, National Lampoons, like 1980. I don't know what. It feels like home during the holidays, which it is, works out well.
Well, it does work out well for you because it is home. This is a little different, but there's so many things I love about this great city that I get to call home myself. I'm technically living here. Michelle is in the suburbs, but
when I'm out of town, I'm from Chicago.
You know what? Again, no judgment.
And I don't care.
But what I love,
for 20 years.
When I come, that's a good point. Michelle's getting stingy. Because she lives in the suburbs. But she says she lives in the city. But you know, Michelle, again, fair game. You're right. You spend a lot of time here. What I love about our city is when I fly back home from anywhere in the world that I am, and when you look out the window, you see that beautiful lake that could be mistaken for an ocean and our incredible skyline. And from above, it is breathtaking. And like you kind of said, it always reminds me that this is home. This is where I live. And it's a beautiful city. There's some fucked up shit about it. There's a lot of things that need work. There's a lot of things that are so breathtaking. And I'm happy to call Chicago.
Yeah, heck yeah. It's one of the greatest cities in the world. 100% love it.
It totally is. All right, you guys, with that, we hope that you enjoy this cozy conversation. Sit back or go for a walk. Share us with your friends. Leave us a review. We love you. We love you. Stay cozy. And we're back. Welcome to Cozy Conversations, you guys. Michelle and I have recorded a whole episode prior to this.
Take 2.
And about 50 minutes in, but I felt it at about 32 minutes in. I felt that it was too just disjointed. Michelle and I weren't vibing. And there's nothing worse than when you're having a fucking conversation that you want to entertain people with, inspire people with, educate people with, make them feel cozy. And if it doesn't feel that way coming from the person who's doing it, then you take your voodoo doll, because I have a voodoo doll here, you guys, in my hand. My friend Maggie brought this back from New Orleans. It's a voodoo doll for encouragement. So no black magic here. And I'm going to beat you from across the airwaves with Michelle. I'm beating the bad vibes and we're bringing not that you're having bad vibes. My turn, but I'm just getting out any residual bullshit from the last. Hitting. Listen,
we had a rough morning.
This is for. That's what it was. I had a rough morning and it trickled into my cozy convo. And I will have none of that.
Yeah, no. And you know what? Good for us for recognizing that we aren't putting out the best product for our listener, because at the end of the day, that's what we want to do. So here we are.
Bad vibes gone. Bad vibes gone.
Toxic positivity from here on out.
The world is falling apart, you guys, but thank God you're
amazing.
But we're just sticking through it. I mean, the world is falling apart, but that's why hopefully people tune into our podcast so that they have like a respite from the dumpster fire, the dumpster fire. You know, Michelle and I have a whole podcast that we want to share with you guys. We want to talk about what we want to talk about today. We're going to talk about the health benefit of birding. And that's what I think we should jump right into.
Can we please?
Yeah, we're going to jump right into the health benefits of
negating the bad. Let's go birding.
Let's go birding. Because here's the deal, you guys. If you don't know this already, let's take a walk. If you don't know this already, birding is super good for your mind, your body, your brain, and your soul.
Yeah.
Michelle text messaged me the other day and she's like, yo, what's up? I'm like, hey, what's up? She's like, I've got a topic for us. Lauren Petty, who is a former classmate of Michelle's, grade school and high school, right?
All the way through 12th grade.
Hello, Petty ladies. I know some of you guys tune in. Thanks for getting cozy with us. But Michelle said that Lauren Petty, she is the wellness and health correspondent for NBC News here in Chicago. Channel 5. And she shared with you, Michelle, or her viewers, including you, some health benefits of
So
birding.
many.
So like, what are the top 3? Like, what are we looking at?
Well, top 3, boost your mood and your memory. All right. That's number 1. As soon as I heard boost your mood and your memory, I was like, well, I need to get out more. And Lauren, you and I talk
about it. You get out
it
all the time. You're very good at birding.
But according to Lauren, 2 hours a minimum a week is recommended.
Where you're going to reap some of the benefits from your birding.
And it's not just the birding. It's about getting outside. It's about getting into green space, getting into nature. We all know this. These have mood boosting elements.
And exercise. There's obviously physical exercise there.
There's a combination.
And they say when you're walking, and I've had to change this about myself, like when you're walking, you need to walk fast enough that your heart rate goes up to actually, again, reap the benefits of outdoor walking. Mm-hmm. So now while you're trying to catch birds, you want to amp up the speed a little bit.
And when you see one, just stop. And what do we always say? Slow down.
Slow down. And then what you're doing is you're slowing your brain down from all the other bullshit and chatter. You're observing the bird. I was on a walk with my friend Devin not long ago, and there was a cardinal. Now, both of our moms are dead. So we were kind of like, whose mom is it, right? Like, which mom is visiting us? And then we decided that it was just like a joint universal visit from, another spirit. And this bird was like doing freaking somersaults in the air. Like it was dancing for us.
Putting on a show.
It was putting on a show.
It was saying, stop and take
watch
a moment.
Me. And we did. And it was and not only that, I'll tell you what though, if you bird with other people, there's that social and emotional connection you have with another person.
And there's nothing more
you're hitting
fun
each other and you're like, oh my God, look.
Sharing in the excitement of, did you see that? Or wait, where is it? And then trying to map it out. No, absolutely. The other amazing thing about birding, Lauren, is it does not discriminate. And you can be any age to enjoy this lovely outdoor hobby. I like to say that for folks that maybe struggle with mobility and such, you can also bring birding to your backyard with some simple addition of bird feeders, a bird bath, what have you.
There are some of those okay, so there's 2 things then in regards to that. If you do this at your home, there are the bird feeders like you have that you put on your window, so that birds will just pop in. But the other thing, and my friend Casey has this, is a bird like camera. And Michelle, you need to put that on your wish list for Christmas.
I want to so bad.
Because the close-up videos of these birds like cracking seeds and fighting with the squirrels.
And looking in the camera. The thing with me is the squirrel problem. I do think that birding in the forest preserve is a little bit more enjoyable because half the time
they're assholes.
I'm envisioning myself with a BB gun going out and blowing away some of those problematic, very hungry little squirrels. Goodness.
Go ahead.
Modern technology, guys, has made birding a much more enjoyable practice. You guys, thanks to fun apps like Autobahn and the Merlin app, you're able to figure out what you're looking at based on color description. But also, if you hear a tweet or a chirp and you're like, hey, what is that? Well, you can use those apps.
It's like Shazam.
Exactly.
It's Shazam for birding.
It's the Shazam for birding.
If you don't know Shazam, like if you're out at a store or whatever, a restaurant, you hear a song playing or at your friend's house, open up, you get the Shazam app and you press down the button and Shazam will pick up the song that you're listening to. And much like that, these apps will pick up the sound of the bird you're hearing far off in the distance. That's freaking cool. Anthony and I and Luna went on a really great walk in Riverside. My friend Val, who lives out there, she is a birder out in Riverside. And I didn't know that this was a thing, but Riverside is in a location called the Mississippi Flyway. And apparently it's where this area just welcomes dozens of migratory birds throughout this area. And there's a lot of birds, there are species that are there all year round, but it's a protected space. In 2020, actually, Riverside was declared an important designated bird area. So for birders in the western suburbs of Chicago or, in the area, take a ride. The trick is to park at the library and then just walk around. And you don't feel like you're looking up for birds. You feel like you are one with the birds. They are swooping all around you. They're everywhere.
We are definitely going to add that to our bird watching hit list.
Michelle,
It's so close to my house. I don't know why we just don't go east and check that out more often.
It's phenomenal. We were getting hit up by woodpeckers, cardinals, really beautiful. Michelle, you mentioned that there's a Facebook group called the Illinois Birding Network.
Yes.
And you were also saying in the last podcast that we just deleted because we want our listeners to be pleased with our work, that if you have a bucket list bird you want to see, you can kind of get like notifications there.
Like people are sharing, like where certain birds are migrating or hanging out. So if you're like, I want to see that blah, blah, blah warbler. Well, guess what? If you go to the Des Plaines River, on Saturday afternoon, you might just get your sighting. It's just, that is a fun social network to go and see what other fellow bird enthusiasts are seeing.
Yeah. And, there are those memes right now that are viral. And it's basically like, one day you're 20 doing shots at the club, and the next day you're 40 sipping on hot coffee, birding from your porch.
So relatable. Totally me. I am
here
memes.
For it.
Mm-hmm.
Anthony wants to go out for drinks on Saturday to go see like this, kind of like burlesque show at this cool, like speakeasy called The Drifter. It's on Saturday. And he asked me to do this on Monday. And I was like, I'm tired. I'm already tired. I don't know if I can get to Saturday and not still be tired yet. So that's a maybe.
Can we just say, like how, like, when you're not in the headspace, whatever the future plan is in that moment, when you're like, you know what, I'm going to tell you right now that on Saturday, I'm not doing that. But then a couple days go by and you're like, I'm in a different space now.
I might be there, but it's one of those ticketed events. We've got to get tickets. So it's like a commitment, it's not like we're just walking up to the bar. But Michelle, speaking of sharing, because you were talking about like sharing,
things,
birds and whatnot. You have influenced me. And I want to tell you that the other day when I was at Michelle's house, we were making some content for the new sauces for McDonald's, the Mambo sauce and the sweet and sour jam. By the way, the Mambo is my preferred. And I know that you
I wasn't my preference when I did not sample it without a fry, but this last time we sampled it with a fry and I was like, I can get behind the Mambo.
So good. But while I was at Michelle's house, she had this, basic but nice looking white t-shirt on, like crew neck,
plain white tee.
As basic plain white tee.
Local band as well.
I used to hang out with the plain white tees.
You did?
A friend of mine was friends with them.
That song, right?
In fact, my friend introduced somebody who wrote that song to Delilah.
Really? Different Delilah. And we're going to talk about her in another episode because I
don't care. Talk about it right now. You guys, I can't wait for the 93.9 light switch to be flipped so I can listen to Christmas carols from this moment on until December 25th.
Does that start on October 31st?
No, it starts on November 2nd for me because, it starts on November 1st, I believe, so 93.9 FM is a local radio station here in Chicago. I know people listening that moved from Chicago are like, oh my God, Delilah.
I mean, Delilah's got to be 100 at this point.
How old is Delilah?
She was,
Michelle, let's hear you do it.
Delilah. Oh, that was not good.
I feel that wasn't good.
Delilah.
No, it needs to be deeper.
No, that's too low.
I'm going to try. Delilah.
That was really good. Delilah. That was good. Do it again.
For me?
Yeah.
Delilah.
Oh, nerves got to her, guys. Nerves got to her.
All in my head.
Delilah. Oh, no,
are you British?
Isn't that so funny how when you sing, like I was like, how am I going to open my throat for that one?
Delilah.
Well, you know what? We're done.
We're done. I'm sorry, you guys. I know they were like, and fuck you guys. Okay, so
we're done.
Anyways, back to the plain white tees. Yes, I had gone to some concerts with them, and back in college, back in college wanted to be part of the band. Now you are actually in one, so I'm kind of like with the band.
You are.
Back in the day. And still, I know in my former life, I was either a band manager. I wasn't a roadie. I mean, maybe I was, but I legit.
Were you a Band-Aid? Did you go bang?
I think I was like part of the business aspect of like rock and roll bands. Like I was like when guys, they'd be like trash in hotels and I was the fucking fixer upper. I was the one coming in, apologizing to management being like, I am so sorry, I got a rowdy crew right here. And they're like, well, Axel just slammed his head against the Jack Daniels bottle. Now I'm in the hospital with him, talking to, Rolling Stone magazine about Axel losing his shit at the local Marriott.
I see you writing. I see you as like the journalist writing, covering the bands. Like you
Almost
write,
Famous.
Right? Yes.
What a good movie.
Oh, great movie.
What a good movie.
Great soundtrack.
So what were we talking about? Plain white tees. So plain white tees. If you're tuning into YouTube right now, you will see that I am in fact wearing a plain white tee. Michelle had this exact one on. It's by Vuori, and which is a brand that I love. Their clothes are like butter soft. They're really, they age well, they wash well. And I have, for the past however many years of my life, I've been paying $12 for a white t-shirt that disintegrates after a wash or two. And I'm tired of it. I'm done with it. We had Danielle Osborne on here to talk about sustainability. And I know I probably should have thrifted a white t-shirt. I tried doing that. I didn't find one. So I went and bought one for $60 that I will have for years now. Years. And it's a plain white tee. There's nothing trendy about this.
Yeah, no, it goes with everything from yoga pants. You could style it up, style it down, work out, walk, do your thing.
It's a nice shirt. So that's my show and tell for today. And then Michelle and I have a collective show and tell that we would like to share with you guys. Because guess what, bitches? It's candle burning season.
That's right.
And we are candle entrepreneurs.
We're candle merchants.
Oh, that's right. Michelle prefers the word merchant. So we wanted to give you guys a little DL, the down low on, Michelle. YouTubers can see this, but listeners can't. Michelle's just holding our beautiful vessel candles.
I'll showcase them
at the right height of her beautiful breasts. Michelle has the best boobs of all my friends and family. Michelle just has the prettiest boobies. And right now they are being adorned by they are. You've got great cleavage by our beautiful candles. So Michelle is holding here the Huga Gold Vessel candle that is Fraser fir, hints of Palo Santo, and moss. All of our candles come with a wood crackling wick. So you know what that means, you guys? It crackles. So if you're at your office and you're working during the holiday season, all humbugging because you're still working and your friends are, happy hour, having a mulled wine, and you're just dying to, meet up with them, at least your crackling candle that you got from the Sister Project is giving you the holiday vibes, the cozy winter vibes. So that was the Huga candle. We also have the Harvest candle, which in my opinion, you can burn Harvest until November 23rd, which is, I believe this year, Thanksgiving. And the Harvest candle is harvest apple, pumpkin spice with just a dash of cinnamon. There you go. And all of our candles are soy and coconut wax blend. They are locally hand poured, you guys. So listen, these things aren't getting busted out in some far off land. A very nice woman by the name of Jen Larkin over at the Paper Peony in Downers Grove. Give her a visit this holiday season. In fact, I think she might even have some of our candles there. She uses her two hands and pours the freaking wax into the vessel. So you tell me, do you want to give someone an Amazon doodad for the holiday season? Or do you want to give them a cozy as fuck holiday candle from the Sister Project, where you will be supporting a small business and your favorite podcasters, me, yours truly, and Michelle, my sister from the same mister. Michelle, thank you for showcasing our candles. You guys, the link is in our bio. Makes for a great hostess gift. And as Michelle says, this is not the kind of candle you would give an asshole.
Exactly. You can go ahead and give them a Glade candle. If you love them,
you give them a cozy AF candle. It is the holiday season, Michelle, and I started shopping.
So we're saying it?
Listen,
so we are saying it. I'm trying to stay with you here. I thought we weren't, but now
just
we are.
Go with
it's
my
the holiday
vibe.
Season.
And whoop-de-doo, and tickety-tock. And how does it go? I love that song. You know what? Yesterday, Michelle and I took a stroll with our friend through Crate and Barrel, and Crate and Barrels. I mean, it's not even, you guys, Halloween doesn't exist. Okay. It's legit. It's Christmas. It's the holiday season. And Michelle started singing, "Have a holly jolly
I
love it. That's one of my favorite ones.
People were like, fuck you, get out of here.
I know.
No.
But the vibe is strong in Crate and Barrel.
Oh, I was getting lots of tablescape inspo from Crate and Barrel.
I was
so
getting
many
lots
different
of
ideas.
gift ideas. Here's my deal. I'm going easier this year, and I'm doing things in bulk. If I like something,
welcome to motherhood.
Is that it? Is that what's happening to me?
Yep.
That's fine. And I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to be the smart
No,
Christmas because
that's
last
this is
year,
the evolution
this
of
is
womanhood.
great, but I like it because I'm like getting like I'm smart. Listen, my timing is different. The everything's different. So I'm like, this is how I feel like. And you know what I love? Those beautiful Christmas tree wax candles. Speaking of candles, the trees that are shaped, the candles that are shaped
Do
as like
you
the
burn them? I
no,
would
I just
never
use
want
them
to
as
ruin that.
decor.
Okay,
No, and I
yeah.
just add on my mantelpiece for the holiday season is our collected Christmas trees from all over the place, whether they're gifts. So I would just add that. It's just such a good gift with a little box of chocolate and call it a motherfucking day. Michelle, have you? I did two. Well, I have a question first. Have you started Christmas shopping?
I have actually. I've procured a couple of things. I've procured a couple stocking stuffers. I have a little something for Luna already that
Thank
we
you.
picked out. Yeah,
Yay.
yeah, yeah. Not much, but I do
But you're
have
starting.
what I have done is I have been paying attention, listening to people, seeing what people need and such. And I have a running list on my notes in my phone. And I'm about ready to go to our gift app that we talk about
Oh,
every
it's the
year.
gift. So I just pulled it up, Michelle. You guys,
Mhm.
I'll link it. It's called the gift list. And this will help you keep a budget, have a budget, and keep track of your presents. So Michelle, you're about to transfer all of these things to your gift list.
Yes. And I
Amazing.
think that's something that I'm going to do different this year. And I haven't discussed this with Ryan, but I'm going to, is having some fun. Like, I kind of feel like I've always carried like just the responsibility of doing the shopping. Ryan and I will do a little bit of it together, but this year I want to have fun with him doing it. So like maybe going out every weekend and picking off a gift
I like
starting
this.
this weekend. You know what I'm
Getting
saying?
clear, you're going to get Mary.
Exactly.
You're
Wait,
gonna get, and maybe
I'm going to get Mary. I'm
you're
like,
gonna get
Mary,
Mary.
who's that? I'm feeling
Jolly
Mary.
and merry. And
I'm
what you can
feeling it.
do is like go get a mulled wine somewhere. You just want to really
Yeah.
embrace the coziness of the holiday season. Well done. Well done. You know
Yeah,
what I
man.
did? When you introduced the Rocket app to me, however many months ago, like a year
You got your
ago,
Christmas
I did a
bucks?
Christmas, I started a
Same.
whole savings account just for Christmas list or Christmas presents and shopping. And every week a certain amount of money goes in
Yep.
there and I
It's
love
so
it.
great.
It's so
Love it
great.
too. Love
Yeah,
it too.
we've mentioned so many apps today, like different apps on our phone.
I know.
And it's
Well,
really amazing. How did we survive doing fucking anything
well,
before an
I
app?
just saw a hilarious meme of it was like, back in the olden days, we would get instructions on a piece of paper with a final destination, and then we would
like
just pray,
MapQuest.
and then we would just pray. Like, I think back to some of the routes and the instructions and the little notes. People were like, now make sure if you go past the gas station with the broken down sign, you've gone too far in the scary
And you're
country
like,
town that I don't even know where I am.
but you know what was nice about that back in the days is that if you were lost, you had to stop and actually talk to somebody and ask somebody like, hey, I'm lost. I actually did that when I was on a road trip recently. I actually was by myself and I wanted to go, I was looking for something. And I mean, I don't go on a lot of road trips by myself, but I was actually driving back from Michigan and I stopped at Chesterton, Indiana, because I wanted to see what the little town was like. And I was alone. I was like, I can just be alone. And I didn't know where I was. And I stopped two women who were walking. I was like, hi, I'm not from here. Is there like a little town of Chesterton? And they stopped what they were doing, came closer to the car, kept pointing things out. I'm like, and it gave me one of those, if you've gone this far, you've gone too far. And I was like, I miss that about the olden days.
I know. I feel like now you wouldn't even be able to because folks are so used to using their maps and their locations
and it
and
just
stuff.
gets you there.
People don't know. And it's also, it's not good for it's not good for our brains. Like, there are actually groups of older folks out there that are gathering together and they're doing like these map hunts just for
like
the pure benefit
hunts.
of cognitive benefits.
Michelle, that is brilliant. And I love that.
I mean, it's sometimes like it's so easy to put on your Waze app and just know the time to be somewhere. But there is something to be said for turning that off if you're not stuck on time and you don't need to be somewhere, to like engage your brain, because there are benefits to still using that. That way.
Also, and something else,
that being your brain.
That being to using that, being your noodle. Yep. But Michelle, another good point that our friend and life coach and business coach Aviva has helped us with is that doing things like that on a smaller scale. So if you take away home all the time, say from when you go get your kids, and every day you go the same way, creating neural pathways and cognitive like lubrication, going different ways and taking different ways home. And I do that a lot now. I've gotten more into the habit of doing that. And it is fun. And it is a little like exciting. You're like, okay, I don't usually go this way. Maybe I'll, it's great. All right. So from mapping to what are we reading,
where are we going?
Watching and listening to, a lightning round, if you will, of shit that we are, content that we are consuming. So either you don't have to, or if you like the sound of it, join us. So Michelle, let's kick things off right now, because last episode we debuted this book. We talked about A Little Life by Hanya Yanagihara.
Thank you so much.
That's really rolling off my tongue now. It's a beautiful name. Michelle, you have started it. I haven't read them, and it's a terrible reading moment in my life. I just, everything I start, I stop. But tell me, how are you liking? You said you are about 10% through, which is not a lot.
10% through. No, I'm not. I'm about 70 pages in.
Are you not crying
I've not stopped, but I'm emotionally invested into these characters.
Connected.
And I'm starting to understand more of their backgrounds and where they've come from. I am feeling the pull to neglect all of my important things in life, my work, my family. Yeah.
Your family.
It's everything. It's drawing me to read.
Last night, Michelle was like, I'm in my bed, like bed rotting, and I need to do our newsletter.
Yep.
And by the way, if you guys are not signing up for our newsletter, you want it, because all this shit that we're talking about right here too, we regurgitate it and then some, trust me, including a recipe of the week of our own. We put all of our links and stuff also in our show notes, as well as in our newsletter. So we will link that, sign up for it. Okay, you guys. Michelle, would you recommend it yet to readers?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
I mean, it's a reminder that we all have a history. We all have families. We all have life experience that bring us to a point where we are why we are the way we are. But also it's about 4 dudes that are moving in their early adulthood into life, trying to figure out their path. And I'm just reading and watching this unfold. And there is some heaviness. There is some deep stuff there, but
some trauma and stuff.
It's worth the read. Yeah, I would say.
People on TikTok are doing live reading sessions. Like they are literally, the camera's just on them while they read this book and while they weep. So there's something to this. And I wanted to say too, I typically don't read storylines that are centered around males. I definitely read more about female experiences. So I'm really interested to, learn more about what it is to navigate life as a post-college or postgraduate male figure in life.
Yeah. It's definitely different than what us gals would be doing.
Interesting. Okay.
I mean, they're dudes.
It's totally different. Yeah, you're right.
And they're creatives. It's good. It's good.
So before I get into A Little Life myself, you guys, Michelle, she sent me a copy of Britney Spears' memoir that just came out about a week ago on October 21st.
Colin Firth. Remember him? Great actor. Colin Firth.
Colin Firth. Is he from Love Actually?
Yes. He was the one that fell in love with Portuguese.
And you look like her. I always think that you look like she's
such a
so
cute
sweet.
Oh
that was a cute love scene, or like a love interest. Colin Firth. So yeah, on October 24th, Britney's autobiography came out, which we are going to read. You guys are welcome to grab a copy and read it with us, or you cannot read it and we will deliver the tea. We're gonna pour it all out.
I just feel like we really do. We have to,
Oh, I want to.
We owe it to her. And
Listen,
I want to
hear her side of the story. Yes, absolutely. So you guys, we will report back.
I'm hearing that Justin isn't super thrilled about the book.
Well, Michelle, would you be if someone was, listen, and she's talking about the size of his penis.
I think that's probably the part he's most upset about.
I wouldn't be really happy if someone's like, Lauren's got, big nipples and they're big and pink.
Well, now all the audience knows.
You know what I mean? Like, no one needs to that's me. I'm talking about my own body. But like, if someone was like, talking about my body. I don't know.
Yeah, I think that there's like got to be a line. Listen, when you're a celeb or you have raised to stardom or you're an icon,
Michelle,
and
lines that are drawn don't sell books.
You're right.
Okay.
And Brittany might need a couple bucks. We don't know.
Bless Brittany. Oh my God. Remember that whole campaign, Leave Brittany Alone? Well, now everyone wants to read.
I know, and which that apparently that meant a lot to her. So we're going to find out all about it.
She talks about that.
Yeah, she talks about the like whole Save Britney campaign when she said that. I think that this is we're going to wait until we read it.
We'll wait. Yep. Let's pause. Pump the brakes. Let's go into what we're watching, you guys. I did go to the theater. I went to go see A Haunting in Venice. It's kind of like a good old fashioned Agatha Christie whodunit. It is super like Halloween-y and vibey. It's good. It's worth seeing at home. Pop some popcorn, chill out. I think kids can watch it too, like your aged kids, Michelle. It's just a good, it's a cozy, even though Halloween's done, it's a good movie to watch this time of the year as we shift into holiday mode. Okay. So A Haunting in Venice. I give it like a B.
Okay.
A solid B, worth watching. Okay. So we are going to roll into something that Michelle and I both listened to. We both listened to a podcast episode by Jo Piazza. That is her name. That is the host. And her podcast is called Under the Influence. And the episode that we listened to was called Is Lex Della Rosa #Tradwife account satire or is it real? And Lex Della Rosa is a TikTok content creator, social media. I'm sure she's on Instagram as well. She basically has created an account on her life being a quote tradwife. And let me tell you guys what a tradwife is so that we can pop into this. So I'm going to literally read this definition from Wikipedia. A tradwife in recent Western, it's a tradition, meaning a traditional wife or traditional housewife in recent Western culture typically denotes a woman who believes in and practices traditional sex roles and marriages. So traditional marriages. Many tradwives believe they do not sacrifice women's rights by choosing to take a submissive homemaking role within their marriage. Some may choose to leave their careers to focus instead on meeting the family's needs in their home. And first of all, if you are able to leave your career and do that, well, then that's great. Not everyone gets that's your most
very
households
privileged
have two,
and lucky. Mm-hmm.
Well, most households have two working people now. Now, here's the problem, and here's what's triggering people is that this hashtag term tradwife, as I read here, talks about believing in these traditional roles. And there is a little bit of confusion over what does a traditional wife look like? Because the 1950s, of course, we had this creation of like the Donna Reed with the skirts, the homemaker and whatnot. And I think that over the years, we have had voices be heard that we want to kind of knock down those stereotypes of what a housewife or wife looks like and what gender roles are. And we need to knock some of those down so there's more equity within the home and outside of the home, of course. So this woman, Lex Della Rosa, I personally think her content is very
satirical?
Yeah, that's the word, satirical. Thank you. Because it's very done up. It's very done up. She's wearing a beautiful puffy dress that Jo Piazza calls princess dresses every day. Her hair is done perfectly. Her eye makeup is done perfectly. She's smiling as she's pouring the baking soda into her big bowl of, baking, ingredients. And every day. And then she goes on to say like, oh, today I'm going to homeschool my 31-month-old baby and then take my 45-month-old baby to daycare, to the playground. So there's a lot of laughs and triggering being done there because she's, there was that whole how do you say the age of your baby? And she's just using this to amp this up.
Can we touch on that for just 1 second? I don't want to.
She's fucking around. I think she's
But why do people say that months at once you go beyond a year?
I know. Okay, so my friend Jessica and I just had this conversation, and Jessica thinks it's because of the clothing size. Because she's like, because it's true. Now that I'm looking, it goes up to 18 months, and then it goes to 2T. Mm-hmm. I mean, if someone asks me how old Luna is, I am saying she's 16 months, but in my head I'm thinking she's fucking 1 year old. She's 1 years old, and I'm kind of trying to, but I think that has something to do
So
with
maybe,
it, is her
okay,
clothing
okay.
size. But I guess people are, just getting, I think, so basically what's happening now is that there's this whole set of content about these Tradwives. And what this woman is doing is, in my opinion, kind of for fun. She's getting a ton of engagement, and she has admitted that even having like haters come on her podcast or her platform and type her comments, that she kind of plays with and makes more content based on it.
Yeah, she
It
said
boosts her
basically engagement,
engagement.
good or bad, is
Yes.
good.
And she's also monetizing her platform, which in a traditional, if you look at like these Tradwives, like way of life, the men bring home, they go work, and the women stay home, and they don't, it's like a choice. Like it's not my place in the world to bring home money for my family. And this woman, Lex, she is bringing home money. She is actually making a really lovely income by monetizing her Tradwife content. So it's kind of hypocritical in a way, because there's a little bit of humor in I find that also to be funny and cheeky in her end. But Michelle, I think that there is actually some content that's coming out from this Tradwife way of life.
From her
Not her,
specifically?
no, other ones that are like legit and hardcore. And it talks a lot about like it's about being submissive to a man.
Let's talk more about that, because your Wikipedia definition, I was fine with everything until we get to the submissive part.
Yeah,
that
means
exactly?
It's like all of my choices and how I look and how I behave is to make my man happy. And in return, there are men that want that, men that want their women to dress how they want them to dress, which is usually done up, little booby, like booby cleavage, like looking kind of sexy, but in their like 1950s housewear outfits. They make all of the financial decisions. The men make all of the financial decisions. The women have no idea about the financial situations in their home. And maybe there are some people out there that this is just how they live their lives. And it is what it is. But in this particular realm of social media, Tradwives are basically subservient to men. And for me personally, I hate nothing more than that messaging. And I will be the first to say it, and I will say it loud and clear, that I think that we want, women should have autonomy. Listen, if we are going to sit here and talk about within the home of being subservient to men, then we are falling into this trap where then we should be subservient to men outside of the home too. And what we personally, right.
That.
Exactly. I'm like, listen, there's a joke out there, like, why are a bunch of white men making decisions on what I can and can't do with my body legally? Like the government legislation. And imagine that living under a roof like that. Like, to me, honestly, do what you want to fucking do. If you want to be a Tradwife, but
are Tradwives typically, are they all ages, or are these younger?
Oh no, they're all ages. And and it is across race too. There are Black Tradwives, there are white, there are from all over the country. I was deep in TikTok and Tradwife hashtag last night doing some research, and there was some other funny content. And I think that ultra feminists and people get really pissed off and triggered by this, because we have had to fight so hard for so long for equality within a lot of different places. And then just to kind of feel like you're going to voluntarily strip yourself of that pisses people off. And you know what I have to say to that? If you're going to spend your time being pissed off over what a content creator is creating,
again, I'm right there with you. I'm what? Everybody's welcome to social media, where everybody films and shares how they push out a turd, to the kind of style baker they are. I mean, if you could spend every minute of every day going and looking at people's content and being triggered by every other thing, I say, I agree. Okay. I agree with the idea that taking steps back and this sort of messaging to young girls who we want to inspire,
empower them. We want them to be able to make decisions,
to stand on their own 2 feet and have careers and do all of whatever they want, really, without having to answer to anybody.
Right. And also be independent. And, I think there's another part of this where it's like, there's this kind of like, women are meant to be mothers and only meant to be in the house. And that's also, not what everybody also wants. No. So there is messaging that is annoying and frustrating. But at the same time, use your own voice and share your empowerment, your message of empowerment to the young ones, to the other ones. I don't know. And listen, I have no problem. Listen, our mom was a stay-at-home mom until we got older, and then she went to work at a florist at a shop. And she was a great stay-at-home mom. We came home, there were always Rice Krispies made, dinner. She forgot about me once at the soccer field. I get it. You had 5 kids. It's not like there's not a lot of responsibility being a stay-at-home mom. That is fucking work. And
I know, and I feel like maybe these Tradwives need to put like an annual income on that.
That's what maybe get compensated for it. All stay-at-home moms, there should be some sort of income. It's mind-boggling, but here we are again, just saying I will work for free. I want to be a Tradwife. It's a bunch of fucking.
I just want to follow some of these Tradwives to the end, and I want to see how their
relationship
how
and
their marriages and everything works out at the end, because there's only I do think that you can only feel stifled and controlled and
for so long.
For so long. I think for some this is a lifelong thing. God bless to you, seriously. But I would be curious to see what percentage of these Tradwives' husbands step out on their marriage or decide that they don't want to be a part of this family,
or find out that the husband's got like the Madonna and the whore kind of situation.
So it's
I got my sweet innocent wife at home, but maybe I'm doing something naughty on the outside.
Yeah,
it's sorry, but you see that a lot.
It's like a cautionary tale.
Yes,
so
and
common.
I am here for breaking down gender roles. I think that again, equity within the household, it helps that it's not like the wife is supposed to be doing this or a man. And trust me, within my own home, Anthony does certain things that I want nothing to fucking do with. And I do things that he doesn't have anything to do with. Maybe a traditional gender role is the grocery shopper. That's me. I think that is more kind of assigned to the woman. But I bet there's a lot of guys out there that are doing it in their households. And then same thing, on the male side. All I'm saying is that I would never want to be a Tradwife, and more power to whatever the fuck you want to do with your life.
Yeah,
that's you.
Could give 2 shits if you are one, but I myself am going to continue to go on the path that I am leading.
I would be such a terrible Tradwife. Being a Scorpio,
first of all, I look like a piece of shit every day.
No, you don't. I would talk back so often. I'd probably be put in timeout or get grounded.
Now, is that what you're talking about?
You can't mouth off. No, you're submissive.
No,
that's the problem.
There would be a lot of domestics. There would be a lot of domestics. There would be a lot of domestics for me. There would.
Oh my God. I can't. Okay. Well, you guys, it's worth listening to the conversation. I will link Joe Piazza's Under the Influence podcast episode if you want to hear from Lex herself.
Because I want to hear what listeners think of this conversation too, because
maybe we have some Tradwives listeners.
I want,
write in, contact at thesisterprojectblog.com.
Yeah. Are you guys getting involved in any domestics? How's it going? I'm sorry. I just need to ask. I don't know. I'm curious to hear what people think of that. How much of what she's saying is authentic? I felt like maybe she was withholding or not showing all of her cards fully and kind of playing into some things. I don't know. Yeah.
Listeners, if you got any other intel on Tradwives, if you are a Tradwife, we want to hear from you. Write us in. You can email us always at contact@thesisterprojectblog.com. God, this episode is so much better than the one we originally recorded. That one was depressing.
I knew we were going to be shelving that before you said anything. I could.
Glad. No, so glad. Okay, so let's cover what we are doing for our own cozy, mindful well-being. And I'm going to share.
Surprise.
Michelle, you guys, Michelle has an addiction problem. She needs to be sent away. She needs to go to TikTok rehab. Michelle,
it's turned into a Tourette's thing. I'm singing it constantly.
Okay, please explain to people why.
So this is my cozy mindful well-being right now. Okay. My cozy mindful well-being is a little bit of the end of the day bed rotting with some TikTok scrolling. And I'm not on my For You page seeing what's being served up. I am searching surprise surprise. Okay. And what appears is this woman. So are they making, is this a GIF? Is this a
It's just
TikTok?
an
What's the
image. It's
language?
just a video that you can
So,
lay
but
over other things.
so what these TikTokers, this trend is there's a woman, her name is Cilla Black, Cilla
Yeah.
Black. I looked her up and she was a British singer and TV host. And she hosted a show called Surprise, Surprise, where she sings a whole song. But on TikTok, all you're hearing is surprise, surprise. And she's in this like 1980s garb. It's like so 1980s, whatever. Well, people are laying this woman over hilarious images.
Anything.
For an example, an empty roll of like the cardboard roll of toilet paper with like one scrap hanging down, and then her singing surprise, surprise. Like you're just going in to take a big number two.
Yes, surprise,
and
surprise.
there's nothing
There's
there
no
for you.
I sent one to Michelle last night
Crying,
that was
roaring.
Cilla Black standing in front of like the gates of heaven.
Oh,
and on
funniest one I've
top
ever
of it
seen.
said like, when people get to heaven and thought that Jesus was going to be white. And there she is.
It actually
Surprise.
says are you talking about when she was in front of Jesus's tomb? Or Lauren, how about the one where she's standing in front of the gates of heaven? What you were just saying, when conservative Christians get to heaven and expect a white Jesus.
Yeah. He was brown. He was definitely a person of color. Yes.
Surprise,
Michelle, why don't you play it? Michelle, why don't you play
Let's play it? Let's play it. Because it's some of the, here it is. Here it is. Surprise, surprise.
So all night, Michelle watches this in bed, hooting and hollering.
I mean, to the point where I'm
muffling
my laugh into a pillow.
Listen, I get it, because the surprise lady, I actually share those TikToks with my friend Bridget back and forth, and it does brighten my day because people are so creative and lay her over surprises that you did not see coming.
No, just
or
run.
that you know might be coming, and surprise.
Run, don't walk, guys. If you're looking for a laugh, if you're looking to add a couple of years to your life, surprise.
So my cozy mindful well-being, I didn't prepare one, so I'm going to come out of the top of my head.
Are you winging right now?
I'm going to wing this.
Oh, guys, we're in for a surprise.
Wow, that wasn't even planned. That was good chemistry right there. My cozy mindful well-being. Let me think about this for 1 minute, because listen. Okay, I know what it is. I just came up with it. You guys listen, my birthday was a couple weeks ago. I'm 41 and I'm feeling fun. I'm feeling fun.
You said that to the waitress yesterday.
Yeah, I'm 41 and feeling fun. And what does that mean to me? That means that my 41st year of life, I'm going to have some fun. Maybe I'll do some things that like I didn't expect to do. I'm going to commit to things. I'm going to also check things off my bucket list. Like I need to have a book club with some of my friends. There's things I need to take this one trip with another friend. So 41 and feeling fun. That is my cozy mindful well-being. I'm leaning into the fun. But you know what? I'm fun as fuck no matter what.
Oh yeah, funny. You're faff. Fun as fuck.
Oh, faff. I thought you were saying faff.
Oh. At first I was like, does she think I'm saying fat? Like,
No, I'm not. And you know what? I'm happy in the skin I'm in. I will tell you that. The other day I was getting naked to take a bath.
I said to myself,
as I was taking a bath, as I was getting naked, I was saying to myself, my body's beautiful. I have a beautiful body. I love my body. I looked down at it and I saw that things look different than they do sometimes. And I said, I love my body.
That's so interesting, because at my 40, almost 6-year-old self, I'm getting naked. I'm looking down and I'm thinking, surprise. Didn't see that coming like yesterday. And to that, folks, I say.
Wait. By the way, what did you see?
Just a pooch. Just like a pooch. That just wasn't
nothing.
there.
Surprise. You guys literally love the skin you're in. And as always,
stay cozy, friends.
Thank you for joining us for today's cozy conversation. For more of The Sister Project, check us out on Instagram at The Sister Proj and our website, www.thesisterprojectblog.com. Don't forget to subscribe to our podcast and maybe even drop us a review. Until next time, stay cozy.